Typically, when I start working with somebody, we're going to deal with the issue that brought them to coaching in the first place. So typically that issue sits up here, and then the stuckness often will sit down here. Sometimes people will come and say, I'm stuck, and that is the issue. But most of the time, there's something going on in their life, whether it's work or not. So an example is a leader will call me and they have somebody on their team that is a high performer, but is just not a good team player, and they don't fit in, and the rest of the team is railing against them. And they don't know how to handle that situation. So in that case, they're coming to me as their coach. But as we do the work, we start by talking very tactically about that particular issue that they're dealing with, and we work them through handling the issue. In the process of working through handling the issue that they're facing, we'll run into how they get stuck, right? Maybe they don't want to fire the person, or maybe they can't make a decision about firing the person, right? Maybe they don't trust their own judgment. So then you start running into the places that they get stuck. You start learning what their blind spots are. You start learning those things. So I never pull anybody into that deeper work unless they want to go there. But the vast majority of my clients, when they start getting to that stuck place, we usually already have a relationship started. They start getting curious. So then we go more into, okay, well, what is your personality type? Sometimes we use the Enneagram for that. That's a great assessment that sort of gets you deeper into your personality type. But I also have a belief model, and I have a model of what gets in people's way, an obstacles pyramid. And so we can work through those. So I have quite a few tools that we use to help people really understand what's getting in the way. And typically what they'll discover is that there's a pattern. So every time this kind of situation happens, this is how they behave, and this is the consequence of their behavior. They start seeing it. And then the first step is, when you're working on getting unstuck, is to figure out how you're getting stuck and start seeing the pattern, bringing it to your awareness. Once you have it in your awareness, you can self-observe. So we do things like trigger logs and just a lot of self-observation and talking about what's going on. Then we start making shifts, but we start making shifts in small increments. And the reason we do that is because if you're stuck and you have a behavior pattern that's sabotaging you or getting in your way, the thing to keep in mind is the reason you created that behavior pattern in the first place was to survive. So it's usually a survival behavior pattern. And so since you created it to survive, your brain is not going to let you stop doing that unless you can convince your brain that you're safe. And that's not something that can happen in a minute or two. But if you keep bringing everything to your awareness so your brain can see, oh, wait, I am safe in this situation. I actually don't need to do this. Then slowly you can make the shift. And then it's just habit forming, kind of reprogramming your neural pathways to respond in new ways. So that's how we get people unstuck.